So yeah, finding a nice seated position, something that's comfortable for you. Roll the shoulders back and lift up through the core. So really engage the core of your body. So avoid any sort of hunching, slouching, all of that kind of stuff. So again, as I said last week, imagine that piece of string tied to the top of your head. And where you place your hands is whatever comfortable for you. So it might be just on your knees or in your lap, wherever it is, be conscious of the impact that's having on your shoulders. And just take some nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. Connect with your body and how you're feeling today. We'll do some simple neck rotation, so it doesn't matter which direction you start in, just nice and easy, keeping that spine lifted to avoid temptation. And reverse direction. And back to center. Taking the right hand, place it on the mat beside you. And then as we breathe in, take the left arm up. And as you breathe out, reaching over to the right. So you're not twisting here. You're keeping your chest nice and open. I hope it looks that way. I'm looking at shadows from the lights and it looks like I'm twisting, but I'm not. So you should be getting a nice stretch down the left side of your body here. And your next breath in, bring it up. And as you breathe out, place the left hand on the mat beside you. Breathing in, take the right arm up. And as you breathe out, reaching over to the left. Doesn't matter how far down you get, whether you just have micro movements. It's all about getting that stretch and working with your body. Next breath in, bring it up. And as you breathe out, release the hands. We'll just shake our hands and our wrists here, release any tension. And then we'll go into some sun salutations. So we did it last week. You're all professionals at this now. So coming to the top of your mat, feet hip width apart. So as you breathe in and breathe out, bring the palms to chest. Breathing in, take the hands to the ceiling. Breathing out, hands to the mat. Bend your knees as much as you need to here. Breathing in, take the right leg back. Drop the knee, relax the foot and open up the chest. Holding the breath to plank position. And as you breathe out, knees, chest, forehead to the mat. Then pushing from your toes, breathe in, scoop up. So your feet are now flat on the floor. Curl your toes. Breathe in, hips to the ceiling. Breathe out even. Lost my breathing routine now. Breathing in, right leg forward. Drop the left knee, relax the left foot, open up the chest. Breathing out, left leg forward into the forward fold. So legs straight, but don't lock the knees. Breathing in, hands to ceiling. And breathe out, palms to chest. So we'll do the other side now. Breathing in, hands to ceiling. Breathe out, hands to the mat. Breathing in, left leg back, drop the knee. Hold the breath to plank position. And breathing out, knees, chest, forehead to the mat. Pushing from the toes, breathe in, scoop up. Curl the toes, breathe out, hips to ceiling. Breathing in, left leg forward, drop the right knee. Breathing out, right leg forward into the forward fold. Breathing in, hands to ceiling. And breathe out, palms to chest. Okay, so we're going to go back into a forward fold now, do a little bit of work on the hips. So breathing in, reach the hands up, really reach. And as you breathe out, reaching forward and down into the forward fold. So as before, legs straight but don't lock the knees. Keep a softness in the knees here. Just let your arms and your head dangle. Nice easy breaths in and out through the nose as you, with every out breath, just ease a little bit closer towards the floor. So we're going to plant the hands down and take the right leg back into runner's lunge. So check that the left knee is above the ankle, not in front of it. And you've got the right leg extended with the knee off the floor here. If this is too much for you, then do put the knee on the floor if that's easier for you and your body. You should feel a really nice stretch down the right hip flexor at the front here. So opening up the chest, little cheeky smile to the cat, or if you've got someone practicing with you today. So we're going to plant the hands down, and we're going to take the left arm up to the ceiling into a side twist here. So really opening up that chest, looking up past the left fingertips here. It's a good one to be aware of any tightness you may have in your shoulders. And releasing that hand back down to the floor. We're going to take the left leg back and temporarily into downward dog. And then from here, we're going to take the right leg up to the ceiling. We're going to twist the hips, and for want of a better way of describing it, cock the leg over to the left. So three-legged dog, peeing dog, whatever you want to call it. You're stacking your right hip on top of the left. And to get a really good stretch down the left calf muscle, draw that left heel down towards the floor. Nice and strong in the shoulders. And then bringing that right leg back into downward dog, give it a little pedal out here. And then we'll bring the right leg forward into runner's lunge. So we're doing the other side, adjust as much as you need to here. So the right knee is above the right ankle, opening up the chest, feeling the stretch down the front hip flexor now. We're going to do the other side, so plant both hands down. This time, taking the right arm up to the ceiling, twisting towards the right, looking up past the right fingertips. And bringing that hand back down again. I'm going to take the right leg back temporarily into downward dog, because we're going to balance it up, and this time take the left leg up to the ceiling, twist the hips, cock it over to the right, drawing your right heel down towards the floor for a calf stretch. Nice easy breaths in and out through the nose. Good one for balance this as well, and concentration. And bringing that left leg back into downward dog, give it a nice pedal out. And then we'll just take a moment's rest in child's pose. So gently making your way onto your knees, forehead on the mat and arms resting by your side. We're going to slowly make our way up, so unfurl so that you're in a seated position. And then roll those shoulders back. We're We're going to make our way onto all fours with a little bit of cat-cow here. So wrists below shoulders, knees below hips. Everything's about, so your hands and your knees are about hip width apart. And we'll start with the in-breath. So as you breathe in, head and tailbone up, concave the back. And as you breathe out, arch the back, tuck the head and the tailbone under. And just keep going at the pace of your breath. Feel free to close your eyes and just raise your awareness of the movement of your spine here. And then bring it back to neutral. And then we're going to make our way down onto the floor. I'm going to move my mat because it's working its way off the rug. We're going to go and do some work from our tummies, but actually what we're going to be doing is working our lower back. So make your way down onto your tummy, however way is comfortable for you. And we're going to start with cobra. So ankles together, toes pointed. And you will be starting with your forehead on the mat. I won't do that because otherwise you won't be able to hear me talk. So start with your forehead on the mat. Your hands are palms face down, kind of in line with your shoulders or face. And you want your elbows tucked in. And that means that it's drawing the shoulders back so you're not hunching too much here. And then as we breathe in, raising your hands, your chest and your head off the floor, keeping those elbows tucked in so that your arms aren't working their way up, your shoulders are drawn backwards, and avoid the temptation for your feet to come off the floor here. It's just your chest and your hands. So you should feel your lower back doing a lot of the work, maybe even your glutes. So it's really important to help with posture and any potential back injuries, to build that core strength, to build the strength in your back just as much as your abs. A lot of people focus on doing crunches and push-ups, but we need to keep it balanced. And I find a lot of these stretches are really good for avoiding injuries with running and things like that. So keep breathing and raise it up a little bit higher if you can. Quite often in classes I see people just take a deep breath and that brings them up. You need to keep breathing, so it needs to be your muscles that are doing the work here. And then we'll slowly make our way down and rest in crocodile pose. So crocodile, Makasana, either arms crossed over as a pillow or arms resting by your side. Your big toes are together and just let your ankles rest out to the side and just sink into the floor here. It's a really good full body resting pose. Okay, we're going to go into what I like to call King Penguin. Is one of my favourites, and I'll explain why I call it King Penguin. I've also called it Eddie the Eagle, and I'll explain that one as well, before you think I'm too loopy. So your legs and ankles are about hip width apart. Your arms are by your side, palms face inwards, and you'll start with your forehead on the mat. And then keeping your arms and your legs straight, we're going to lift our arms and our legs off the floor. So, King Penguin, imagine you're that penguin flying along the ice on your tummy. Or Eddie the Eagle is because imagine you have just launched and you're on the takeoff and you're flying through the air, ready to launch on the ski jump. So hopefully that makes complete logical sense for you guys. Hold it just a couple of seconds longer and rest down again in crocodile. Good work. Big toes together, ankles dropped out to the side. Okay, we're going to go into bow pose now to finish the work we're doing on our tummies. So this is a really good stretch for opening up the chest and getting a good stretch on the psoas as well, which is the muscle that connects the upper body to the lower body, which can get quite tight if you do a lot of sitting down, or if you do a lot of running, or cycling, things where you've got repetitive movements in a certain position. So we start off by bending our knees and holding our ankles on the outside. Now, I say we start here. For some people, this might be where you get to. And if you're struggling to get to this point, then if you've got a rope or something or a jumper that you can put around your ankles and just hold your feet up. If this is really hard for you, you've probably got very tight hip flexors or quads. So this might be as far as you can get. But if you're comfortable with this, what we're going to do is raise up. So take a breath in and lift up, keeping the knees in so that they're not wandering out too far. And we're going to hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good work. Plant the hands down and slide back into extended child's pose. So keeping your arms out in front of you, draw your bum towards your heels. And by really extending those arms, so really stretch through all the fingers, you'll feel a good stretch down your back as well. So from here, we're going to just spider walk our fingers over to the left. So they're probably going to go off the mat. And that's totally fine. You might feel a stretch down the right side of your body again. If you want to deepen that, take your right hand and place it on fingertips. And then spider walk back to centre. And then over to the right side. And again, this time left hand and fingertips if you want to deepen the stretch. And spider walk back to centre. And then very slowly unfurl, so making your way up to a seated position. And then rolling those shoulders back. So we're going to do a few rotations, release any tension we might have in our shoulders. Taking the weight forward, cross the feet over, roll back onto your bums and make your way towards the centre of the mat. And then we're going to do another really good stretch for the psoas muscles. So sliding your bum forward, keeping your knees bent and your feet on the floor. I'm going to go into half bridge. So draw your heels close enough so that if you're stretching, you can just touch your heels with your fingertips. And then when you're happy with that position, just relax your arms, palms face down by your side. So your feet and your knees are about hip width apart. Then as we breathe in, we're going to raise the hips up, taking the weight back onto your shoulders here. So your hips are going not just up to the ceiling, but almost backwards as well towards your head, if that makes sense. So really tuck those shoulders under. If you want to, you can interlink your fingers and just help tuck your shoulders a little bit more. So drawing your hips up. Avoid the temptation for your knees to wander out to the side. Try and keep them in line with your hips. So yeah, really good one for the psoas. It's probably working your glutes as well, but it's also opening up your whole chest. We'll take it to another level in the future, but for pre-Christmas, I think we'll leave it here for now. So release the hands if you had them interlinked, and then very slowly, vertebra by vertebra, make your way down. And when your hips touch the floor, we're going to hug it out in air releasing pose. So knees to nose. Keep your feet parallel, so you're not crossing your feet over here. If you've got a sore neck or anything, any issues with your neck, just rest your head on the floor in this position. But otherwise, just hug it nice and tight. And if you want extra massage, you can just rock gently side to side. We're going to go into happy baby, always a good one to do in the privacy of your own home. So resting your head on the mat, we're going to part the knees and then take the feet so that the soles of your feet are facing the ceiling. So your knees are as wide apart as you can, that's comfortable. And what we're going to do is hold the bottom of the feet. So you can either place your hands on the inside and hold the bottoms of your feet, or you can hold kind of the rail, the outer edge of your feet on the other side. Or depending on your flexibility, you may be holding your ankles. It doesn't matter, it's about opening up those hips. So you can stay still, or you can gently rock side to side, or do a little jiggle around, whatever's comfortable for you. Happy baby, I'm guessing, is because this is kind of the pose that when they're getting their nappies changed. So drawing those shoulder blades down towards the floor. And then release the legs. So extend the legs all the way down and raise your arms above your head. So we're in a full body stretch here. Nice deep breath in as you're really stretching. And deep breath out. And again, hug it back in. So knees to chest, nose to knees. Back in air releasing pose. I'll give you 3 guesses as to why it's called air releasing pose. When I was in the ashram in India, they said how technically this is the only pose you're actually allowed to release air in yoga. I don't think they really get a choice over what you do and don't do, but seeing as you're in your own home, you can do what you want. And again, release the leg, release the arms, full body stretch. And then resting your arms by your side. We're just going to have just a couple of minutes of Shavasana, so a little bit of relaxation at the end. It is just before Christmas after all. So legs are hip or mat width apart. Your arms are resting by your side, palms faced up. Tuck your shoulder blades under, just let your feet drop out to the side. Let your hands naturally curl. Gently close your eyes and take some nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. Focus on your breathing. The rise of the tummy on the in-breath and the fall of the tummy on the out-breath. And then squeeze your feet, squeeze your hands, squeeze your facial muscles, squeeze all the muscles in your body, and relax. And very carefully rolling onto the right side. Just rest there for a moment. And then when you're ready in your own time, slowly making your way back into a seated position. So the reason we roll onto the right side is because after you've had relaxation and you're lying down, as you go onto the right side, it prevents any unnecessary pressure on the heart. So there's a reason, medical reason behind all of this. So thank you very much for joining me today. Sorry my email's confusing, and there was only 4 of you, but hope you all enjoyed it.